let's say the data given to you is in the JSON file format. Let's say the in this case product dot data dot JSON file. You just select the file and then click on open. Okay, when it comes to the JSON file, it will get opened in your Power Query editor by default. Okay, when you open the file, right, it will instead of loading it and it will instead of displaying it directly here, first it will open. It will get opened in your Power Query editor. Okay, in the Power Query editor, what we do is if you need to make any changes to the column name or something else, you can do it here. Okay, product data, product number, right? So these are the things are there. And 1 second here. Okay, now the question is all the columns are prefixed with the file name. Okay, and what we do is I just click on the wheel icon next to this expanded product one here. You just go here and then here you will need to load more. Okay, here it is not displaying expanded product data. We'll just click on here also. I don't see anything. Okay, let me just click on this one source. Okay, I just close this one and the here source next to that. I will just click on it. Okay, data JSON file origin none. Okay, and then the convert to table and expanded data. And then here I just do it with something like this. But here it is not showing the default column name prefix. Look here, default column name prefix is product data. What I will do is I just remove this one here, okay, and then click on OK. Look here. So when you open a JSON file in Power BI desktop, when you try to load a data which is available in JSON file, it will get opened in the Power Query editor. Okay, and then the each column name will be prefixed with the file name, product data dot product number, product data dot SKU. We don't need each column to be prefixed with the file name. For that, what should I do? You just go to the expanded product data and so these are the steps carried out automatically, right? We did not do anything. But the only thing is we need to do some kind of customization. You just go to the expanded product data one and next to that you will find the wheel icon, click on it. And then here default column name prefix is an optional one, but by default it prefixes each column by the table name or the file name. I just removed it, click on OK. Now now we can see only the column name. Each column name was not prefixed with the file. And then the change data, this step was carried out automatically and let it be there. Okay, I just removed that step. It is not required here, but yeah, standard cost, everything is available here. Okay, the next step is close and apply. But if you see there, the data types, right? You can change the data type there. For example, I just go to the data view. In the data view, if I select the product data, this is what my JSON file. And if I click on the list price, you can see it is a text data type. So what you do is here itself, we can change it to the whole number or something like that. In case if it throws an error, right, do you want to change, will be stored differently. This may cause a loss of data or precision. Let us do it here. Let's see what happens here. Now it got, all the values got converted in the whole number. We did not see any error here. Very good. But here we will not see any error. Okay, but still we'll go and check it there. So, and then I just click on the standard cost. I just change it to the decimal number. Instead of text, I'll just change it to the decimal number. Here itself, we can change the data type. Okay, fine. And only the standard cost and list price, these two columns are number data type. Fine, we just made it. So it's pretty simple, isn't it? The JSON file is pretty simple. But if you have more number of columns, you can do the data type, change everything here itself. Not this one, product data. Standard cost, right? You go and change it to cost is in decimal. I just go and decimal number. Better you do it here instead of doing it in the data view. Okay. And the product number is not, it's a text data type, and list price. See, change type. We got the change. Earlier we were getting some error. Ideally, I should have selected change type, and I should have checked, why, it is causing error. We should have fixed it there. Anyhow, not a problem. Here also we can do it. Okay. The change type, standard cost, it converts a number data type. And if you click on the drop down here, you'll find the other column which we change the data. This price also we change the number data type. Here we use the decimal data type, decimal number. Even for standard cost also we made it. Okay. So in a single function, table dot transform column types, right? We can see the all the columns, the two columns, which we changed it to the decimal number data type. Okay, you can do it in different ways. This is how you can do it. But always it is best practice. You can do it in the Power Query editor instead of going and changing the data type, everything in the data view. You can do it here itself. Okay, the next one is the database. How we can connect to the database. So you have the icon called database that is available here. So using which we can connect to the Microsoft database. Okay, what is database? How many of you are aware of the database? What is database? See, in some customers, they keep the data on cloud. Okay, in the database, they will. So this falls under Power Apps. Which one? The database. Okay, it is a Microsoft's the cloud-based storage. Okay, so earlier we call it as a common data source, CDS. CDS, common data source. Which one? The database. Previously, they used to call it the common. Now they call it as a database. It is a cloud-based storage option for your or our company's data. So, okay. So we can connect to the database using different business applications like Power Apps or Power Automate and so on. So if you wanted to use Power Automate and, using Power Automate, if you want to connect to the database, because this is the way the data is there, you can connect it directly to your database. From Power Automate, you can connect to database. From Power Apps, you can connect to database directly here. Okay, but you know very well, once you store the data on cloud, in this case, a database, you can access the data across the globe anytime, anywhere. And also, it is secured. Okay, the data is highly secured. Okay, and the other benefit is your company's metadata, right? You can easily you can manage it once you store it in a centralized place. Okay, the cloud. So now we will take a look at how to connect to the database. Yes, so make.powerapps.com. Okay. Type make.powerapps.com in the browser and press enter. It is being connected. Let's wait for a moment. So you can see the database out here, right? So database. Okay, here, okay, now we are in the powerapps.com, make.powerapps.com. Look here on the top right. So I have used my org name, company name to sign up with the Power Apps. Okay, I think it requires official email ID. Okay, I believe most of your working with companies, right, including who else is there in the call? Yeah, Swarna and Sushmita, all of you are working, right? Except Priyanka, I think so, right? Priyanka and others, right? So don't worry, we will, at this moment, you don't need any sign up also here. If you understand the concept, that is more than sufficient. So with this, I just logged into this powerapps.com, and here you have the settings option here. If you go here and then click on session details, and here you will find the cloud server name. Right click on it, copy it, and then go back to your Power BI desktop and then click on the database. Either you can click on it here or you can click on the get data. Here also you'll find the database. Look here. So I'm going to click on it here. So what happens the first time when you click on it, it will ask you the server name or the cloud URL name or the server name, and then the user name and password. Since I've already specified it, it will directly connects to my this one, the database. Okay. Now I just show you what files are there or tables are there in database. In order to see that, you need to click on the the drop down thing here, and here you will find different kind of objects, tables and choices, data flows. I just click on the tables. These are the tables were created already. Okay, these tables I did not create it. It's all available already in database. The account table, address table, appointment, all these tables are. For example, if I select the account table, when I click on it, it shows the properties of the table. What is the primary column, account name, and then the relationships, right? The keys and all the things. And if you scroll down each column, what values are there, you can see it here. Okay. Supposing you wanted to load or upload your own file, you just click on the 1 second. You just not here, new. Let me do one thing. I just go here and click on the database and then tables. Yeah, in the import, click on the import data from Excel. You just click on it and then load your Excel file into your Power BI, the database. Okay. Your Excel file will get uploaded here. Once your data is available here, people across the globe can access this one with the server name and the username, password, which you share it to them. They can access it globally, from anywhere. Okay. But in this case, these tables are already available. For the demo purpose, I'm going to use the previously created tables by someone else. I'm going to use this one, account table. So look here, now I was able to connect to database successfully. And then if I expand this one by clicking on it, you can find all the tables, whatever you see it here, you can see it here also. Okay, account, address, appointment, all these things you can see it here. Maybe in the not in the proper order, but all the files will be there here. Okay. And here we have something called account address, right? Address, we search it here, customer address, publish address. Yeah, everything is available. I just select the account table. I don't want all the table for demo purpose. If I show you one table, That is enough. So now we have connected to the cloud, which is nothing but the database. The database, these are the tables are available. I just selected the first table account. It is generating the preview of that thing. I don't want to see the preview and I don't want to waste time. I just hit the load button here. I just hit the load button. And here you can see two options, import or direct query. I use the import here. I go by the default connection setting import. I just hit the OK button. It loads the entire account tables data from the Dataverse cloud to my Power BI desktop. Kind of a downloading the data. 10 rows, only 10 rows are there, but the number of columns are more in that table, account table. Look here, this is the account table. Lot of columns are there. And okay, if I go to the data view and if I select the account table, you will find hardly, few records. Look here, how many rows are there? 10 rows are there. Here at the bottom, you can see the number of records. Only 10 rows are there, but the number of columns are more. Let it be there. So I just go here, and then what I do is I'll just show you, this one, the pie chart. And here, what I'm going to do is I just select this account table, and here, what I'm going to do, account name. I just select the account name here. So not this. Sorry, I should have selected this one. And then here the account name, I'm going to select it. Okay, I just delete this one. And then the number of something like number of staffs, number of employees. Here I just select this one. I just select this number of employees. That's all. In each account, it's something like a department. Each department, how many number of employees are there? Okay, in the fourth coffee, how many number of the, you have some 9,500. Likewise, it shows. So now you understood how we can connect to the cloud database, Microsoft database. From there, how we can pull the data and load it into Power BI desktop. When once the data get loaded locally, you can, create the visuals. If the data is available locally, you can create the visuals. Look here, the data is available here. The next one is the direct connection mode. How many of you remember I explained the direct connectivity mode in as part of the SQL query connection, right? So SQL server. The same thing, instead of using the import, you can use direct connection mode. I just quickly show that one. It got connected to my cloud database. And then if you expand it, I just select the same thing and I hit the load button. Look here, this time I'm going to select the direct query. When I select the direct query, what will happen is the data will not get downloaded here. Okay, this is just a warning. You can ignore it by clicking on OK. So look here, the account 2 is the direct query mode. Okay. And if I go to the data view here, and if I select the account 2, the same table I have connected using the direct query mode. You can see that this table uses direct query mode and cannot be shown. So which means the data will not get downloaded into your Power BI desktop. Rather, for example, if I create the same visual, okay, I am going to create the same visual. And here I'm going to say the account name. This is import mode. This account table is imported. It got downloaded here in this case. And now what I do is I just select account 2. I just go down here. Or best thing, I type the name of the account, column name here. Look here. So this is the direct query mode. Okay, here I just select the account name. If you can select here also. Okay, once you select it, this column will get dropped here. And then the next one is the number of employees. Here I'm going to select it. So the moment when you select this column, what will happen is these two columns, right? It will go and pull the data from your cloud and then it will populate the visual. On the fly, it goes and pull the data from your cloud. But whereas here, the data get loaded locally into your thing. Okay. When you use a slicer, and then, for example, I'm going to create a slicer. Slicer is a visual. In that slicer, if I use the account name, when I keep changing the account name, what will happen is whatever the changes that, whatever the, whatever the selection that I make it here, for example, here, what will happen is, see, for example, I don't want to see all the account name and I want to see only the blue and right, whatever the selections that I make it for this specific account name, it will go and filter it from the cloud. But if I create a slicer for this one, the account name column for the imported one, when you make changes, right, whatever the selection that you make it, so in that case, it will not go to the cloud. It will get loaded pretty fast manner because the data is locally available. Got it? That is the difference between these two. This is import mode. This is direct query mode. In the case of direct query mode, only the table name and the column names will get loaded. The table name and column name are called your metadata. Okay, in the case of direct query option. Okay, table name, column name, and then relationship will get loaded in case of any relationship. Remember this one. If you remember this much, that is enough.